Well, it's finally happened. RightStuf International has fallen. By that I mean it's been bought out by Crunchyroll, which means it's been essentially bought out by Sony. So, if you haven't been in the know, Sony is basically on a crusade to, one, own as much of the anime uh, localization scene as humanly possible, and two, make it boring, specifically by taking away as much of the lewd or fan servicey content as much as possible and really sanitize it that way. So as part of that, RightStuf is also dropping a lot of their quote-unquote erotica content. Now, what exactly fits into that description is kind of weird. When I checked, the manga series Arrow Ninja Scrolls was still up. That literally has Arrow in the title, but it's not, I guess, Arrow enough to get banned. But anyway, it does seem like it also affects like a lot of the cast-off figures and things like that. So that could be an issue because I do think that they were one of the bigger importers of those kinds of figures. I think most of the other places that you could get figures are probably getting them through or directly from Japan. So we'll have to see what's going on there. Now, if you did have a order for some mature stuff, and I did have an order here or there, they are making a new website called what is it called? It's called Arrow Anime Store, which I have to assume that that's probably some completely separate corporate entity. I'm guessing Sony just doesn't want that kind of thing on their balance sheet. So let's talk about that Arrow Anime Store. Right now it's just a web page. It doesn't really give you too much information except saying, hey, we're going to have a website here at some point, and they're the ones that are going to be fulfilling all of those orders that have already been made. So that is going to be an ordeal. And also, I have to believe that this Arrow Anime Store is probably, I mean, even just the name was probably made from the ground up to not be able to basically carry anything other than Arrow anime stuff. Probably just, what I'm thinking is, RightStuf probably had like a huge backlog of like a lot of Arrow anime stuff like in their warehouse that they just haven't gotten rid of for years. So this might be kind of a spring cleaning for them to at least get all of that stuff out of there. Who knows? Maybe they might open that stuff back up on their store now that they've got cleaned everything out. I doubt it, but it's possible. So that might make sense that way. Now this Arrow Anime Store, I mean, they called it Arrow Anime Store, so one, anyone that buys anything from there, it's going to show up on your credit card statement as Arrow Anime Store, which might be kind of weird. If you get it mailed to your house, it's probably going to be emblazoned with the name Arrow Anime Store on there, which obviously most customers of that sort of thing probably aren't going to want. And also, it kind of precludes them from like handling anything else, which is probably the whole point, because I'm sure RightStuf doesn't want a new competitor spinning up out of nowhere. So, I mean, if they named it just something like, I don't know, Critical Mass, I think Critical Mass is the name of their adult anime localizer or whatever. So, yeah, they could have done that, whatever. I don't know what's going to happen with that. As far as their Nozomi Entertainment division, which was RightStuf's interior anime localization thing, it looks like that is just being rolled into the Sony juggernaut, which that's one of the things that's really pissing me off about this, is that we're running out of like smaller independent localization groups. And I mean, picking up Funimation was a big one. There's still Sentai, so let's hope that Sony does not start gunning for them, although really Sentai's not really doing too much anyway, so it's like what the hell can we really do? Well, what we can do is we can try to avoid Sony as much as we can for as long as we can. So yeah, that's why I'm making this video. Anyway, I'm rambling here. So as far as DVDs and Blu-rays go, I think we should be fine going to like Best Buy, Target, Walmart. I mean, sure, this isn't like back in the 90s or the early 2000s, where basically RightStuf was the only place carrying anime style content like this. So I remember those days back when you had to, well, at least I had to go to the gas station, get a money order, and put that in the physical mail and send that out to them. But whatever. Anyway, so for Blu-rays and DVDs, who knows? If anyone knows any good places, go ahead and put it in the comments. I'm not going to be able to supply URLs or links to some of these places, because if they are carrying adult stuff, YouTube might ding me for putting those links up there. So anyway, so yeah, go ahead, and I know there's like Otaku Joe's and a few other stores that you see them at conventions and whatnot, but they just don't really have much of a web presence. I guess they were all just kind of figuring that I guess RightStuf was the king, and they would basically be losing money if they tried to challenge it. Well, sure as hell hope they try to challenge it now. But anyway, so DVDs and Blu-rays, please give me a hand there. Manga, I did find a couple of spots that look like they can handle most normal manga, maybe some of the slightly spicier stuff, but not going over the line. Looks like they have a similar line to what RightStuf might be having. But first off is Books A Million, which is a name I've seen. I think I've gotten a few things from them at different conventions and whatnot, so that seems like a pretty good one. They seem to have a good selection. Another one here is Book Walker, which looks like it might be more geared towards manga and stuff specifically, but I'm not completely sure. I haven't really ordered anything online from them. Basically, all these things, I just did a few Google searches today. I got the news today that RightStuf was bought out, so it's not like I have had plenty of time to do too much, but I do want to get this video out soon, so hopefully it can help someone. And if there's enough changes or updates or whatnot that need to be made, I can probably make a follow-up video later, but for the time being, there we go. If you are looking for the spicier stuff, it looks like both Project Hentai and Faku both have their own handle their own shopping carts, so you can probably order some stuff from them directly. So there you go for that. As far as general anime and Japanese stuff related stuff, looks like we have CD Japan, which handles a lot of seems to handle more of Japanese specific items, not so much, otaku quote unquote specific items. But then we get into J-List, which this is one that I probably can't link. They do carry a lot of stuff. If you were looking into like cast-off figures, I think they carry a lot of the same stuff, but they might be shipping directly from Japan, which, Japan has stricter censorship laws about a lot of things, so may need to double check on some of that. But yeah, J-List definitely looks like it is going to be able to fulfill maybe not manga. I don't really know how good they are on stocking manga, but for a lot of the other stuff, it looks like they'll be able to handle a lot of that. Mandarake is another store that I've heard talked about for getting figures, so that might be handy there. I think they are mostly a buyer and reseller and restocker of various figures, so you might be able to get some stuff that's out of print and whatnot. Another one that handles figures is Ami Ami. So I think I might be confusing Mandarake and Ami Ami. They might be pretty similar, but they might be good places to get figures and whatnot and other collectibles. Also, maybe more on the video game front, Play Asia. Play Asia is a pretty good exporter of Japanese like video games and whatnot. I've picked up some stuff for like DDR pads and whatnot, and also picked up a couple games there that were not released in the West. So I will happily, stand by them. I've had, good experiences ordering from them, so play Asia. Like I said, Target and Walmart and hell, Best Buy will be able to handle some stuff. It looks like Target and Walmart will actually handle some manga. Obviously, probably just some more of the more popular stuff. Still need to find a pretty good spot to go to get maybe like back orders and whatnot. So let's see. Still on the topic of manga, there's the ye old Barnes and Noble. They've certainly got a selection. Also found a few other sites like Book Depository. Never heard of them. Let's see here. Boswell Book Company also seems to have some stuff. Hudson Booksellers. IndieBound. IndieBound seems less like a seller itself, more like a resource for finding smaller local independent bookstores that might carry what you're looking for. So that could definitely be. In general, I want to help support local businesses. In the face of these over corporatized monsters, obviously. So IndieBound might be an interesting place to go for some stuff there. Indigo looks like it's a store for kids. Some of the things that I found by linking to that site definitely did not seem like they were for kids, but they might be a place that you might be able to find stuff, find some manga, but good luck there. In stock trades seems like more of a used book kind of trading resource, that sort of thing, which definitely could help. Looks like they do handle some manga. It looks like it's more for the Western comic market. Moving on, J Novel Club. So definitely if you want J novels, there is the club for that. Might definitely be useful. Next is Chitin Books. Hopefully that will. So Chitin Books, I'm not really sure what all they may or may not carry, but hopefully it's a good selection. Kinokuniya. I've actually been to the physical store for this place a couple times, and they tend to go around to some of the conventions. So yeah, definitely more of more carrying the more up-to-date current series. So you might not be able to find a lot of back orders or whatever, but there you go. Penguin Random House. I didn't really see too much on Penguin Random House, but they may have what you're looking for. Starfruit Books. Starfruit Books looks like it's more of an independent manga localization thing, but it looks like they deal more with a lot more obscure stuff that it seems like they're pretty new, so they may not have the clout to get a lot of the higher, more in-demand stuff, but it looks like they may have some interesting stuff, so go ahead and check them out. Takara Cafe. Now, at the time of writing this, their store is technically down, but it does look like they are aware of RightStuf's acquisition right here, and it looks like they are interested on, hopefully, on capitalizing that, but I honestly have no idea what their inventory looks like. Hopefully they may have a good selection, but we'll have to wait and see for their website to get up and running. Thrift Books looks like it's more of a maybe used bookstore, maybe things they couldn't sell, that sort of thing. And lastly, well, not lastly, next we have Viz. So honestly, basically, for some of these, you can buy manga directly from the publisher. So Viz would be one of those. Obviously not all of them, but here we go. For some of the more adult manga, obviously I mentioned Faku, which I can't really put a link to, but yeah, just Google it up, just how it's spelt right there, Fakku. Good luck. And then there's ProjectHentai.com, which is another publisher of spicy books. As far as places that look like they carry, a wider array of just, normal and spicier stuff. It looks like Atomic Books, maybe. And also Bookwalker, which I, mentioned before. Also found this one, Rakuten Kobo. I know I've heard Rakuten from various other places, so hopefully that will get some stuff. As far as games, most games, I'm just honestly, you can probably get them from Steam. There's Manga Gamer, which has a selection of Eroge and also a lot of normal games and various stuff. There's Just USA, which is another importer and publisher of adult content, video games and whatnot. Let's see, already mentioned Ami for figures. Big Bad Toy Store. Now, that's a site that I just happened to come across. It looks like it's more for Western collectible figures and whatnot, but looks like it may have some stuff. Looks like one of the ways you may want to do it is when you find a series you like, go directly to the publisher's site, and then they'll usually have links to various different stores where you can buy it. So some of the local publishers are, of course, Denpa. There's Kodansha, Seven Seas Entertainment, Tokyo Pop, Yen Press, and I'm sure there's a few more that I'm missing, but hopefully that gives you a start. And another notable site that I came across, I'm not really sure if it's going to be useful, is Japan Stores. It looks like it just handles a lot of various Japanese stuff. So whatever. I guess I've rambled on long enough. Hopefully this will help you to buy stuff and avoid Sony. So yeah, a wiser man than myself once said, "Don't give money to people that hate you." And honestly, it very much feels like Sony hates you. So it's like Sony hates all of the current anime industry right now. But yeah, well, do what you can. I've also heard, if you don't like the culture, make the culture. So if you have any creative inklings, go ahead and do what you can, make what you can. And yeah, let's go. So go ahead and post in the comments if you have any other suggestions or any other notes. I'll maybe make a update later on, see what I can find, and yeah, we'll go from there. So anyway, this is all I really have to say about that. So till next time, later.